Grand Rapids is quickly becoming one of the premier food towns in the Midwest, and our next stop might have something to do with that. There's two simple reasons we wanted to stop by Reserve, and believe it or not, one of them isn't the great atmosphere. Yep, you guessed it, it's the wine and the food. But before we get to the food, let's get to the wine with sommelier Peter Marentet. So you're an actual, authentic, real...
Sommelier.
You're a sommelier.
Level 2 sommelier, yeah.
Oh, there's levels like in karate?
Pretty close, yeah.
Oh, awesome. How do you become a sommelier?
A lot of drinking, a lot of studying, tasting, reading. It's like going back to school, taking another course.
Well, now tell me about this incredible wine system you have here, because I understand you can actually taste a bunch of different wines and the wine doesn't go bad. Because in my house, I have to drink the whole bottle because I'm afraid it'll go bad.
That's still not a bad thing. But so we have 102 wines by the glass. The system's called a Cruvenet system. There are a couple different systems similar to it, but this is a nitrogen pressurized system, so creates a level of nitrogen between the oxygen and the wine so it doesn't
Oh, so as the wine comes out, it puts nitrogen in so it doesn't come in contact with oxygen and doesn't go bad. That's incredible. Now tell me a little bit more about the restaurant, because this place is fantastic.
All the chairs, all the furniture, it's all local. Steelcase, Herman Miller, Hayworth, Eames. So they're staples of Grand Rapids, and they have been for the last 7,500 years.
And I also noticed some really cool private rooms in this place. Like the one downstairs with the vault.
Yeah, the vault's pretty neat.
When you were reading, I snuck down there. Is that a real vault?
It is. So the building was built in 1914. We used to be a bank, and that is the vault door that was installed in the bank in 1916.
Is it still full of money?
No, but it's full of wine, which I guess is worth something.
Even better. You know, they say a restaurant is only as good as its head chef, which brings me to the other reason we came to Reserve. Chef Matt Malhar is not only one of Michigan's best, this guy knows more about culture and food than I know about, well, culture and food. What inspired you to become a chef?
Food. Food for sure. You can see I like to eat. I went to college for something completely different. I went to college at Grand Valley. I was studying literature there, and I realized one day I wasn't very good at it. But I was pretty good at what I was paying my way through school doing, and I was cooking. When it came time to sort of sift through the graduate school nightmare, I sort of realized I was already doing what I really loved, and that was cooking. So I decided not to pursue that postgraduate degree and just put my nose to the grindstone and tried to learn to cook as best I possibly could.
Well, you're a local boy done good, because I've heard some real good things about what you're doing. I also understand you're a
charcuterie, I guess is the way you might put it. But one of the things they wanted here is sort of core to the concept is cheese and charcuterie, which is obviously a natural with wine. And I do have a background in charcuterie.
It's the study of?
It kind of almost directly translates to cooker of meat. So back in the days when labor in France was divided into guilds, there was the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. There was also the charcuter, and the butcher sold fresh meat, and the charcuter sold cooked meat that was ready to eat. Things that were usually eaten cold.
Oh, it was fast food at that time.
It was fast food at that time, and it was illegal for the butcher to sell pate, and it was illegal for the charcuter to sell a pork chop. So they had very different roles in keeping people fed. Charcuterie has been very important in Western civilization as far as having, well, at least animal proteins available to eat when inclement weather means you don't have wheat and vegetables and fruit in abundance. So the preservation of meat through salting and smoking, curing, was a very important part of building Western culture.
Now explain the experience at the restaurant here for people.
You know, what I really like the most about Reserve, I think, is that the experience you have here is totally up to you. You can customize experiencing this space in any way you see fit. A lot of patrons will just come in and sit down and have a glass of wine and leave. Some will stick around for the charcuterie, some will stick around for an entire meal. It's very easy to sort of choose your level of involvement with at the restaurant. What's fun about it to me is, you know, a lot of people might look at 102 wines and maybe some food that they're not so familiar with you know, it'll put them on their heels a little bit. To me, if you come in here with an open mind and you know, are ready for a little adventure, this is a great place to do that. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of ways to explore the world through its food and wine.
Do you find that the food culture in Grand Rapids is changing?
Absolutely. Grand Rapids is an interesting city to cook in. There's a real grassroots effort, I think, springing up from within the community. People who live here who want to eat better, chefs who want to cook better farmers who want to be a little bit more part of the restaurant scene. It's getting better and better every year.
Not only is the food scene getting better and better every year, but Grand Rapids gets better and better every time we come here. It's a beautiful city that's got it all. Great food, creative people, and no shortage of stories to tell. If I were a betting man, I'd bet we'll be back again real soon.